You know that feeling? The email lands on a Tuesday. Your 401k statement. You open it. You look at the number. Then you look at the calendar. You're 45. Maybe 49, and the math doesn't work. It just doesn't. You've been working hard for 25 years, and this is it? You look closer. You see the line item. The management fee, that 1.2% or 1.5% they take. Doesn't sound like much, does it? A penny and a half. But that's 1.5% of your money. Every single year. Whether they make you money or lose it, they take their cut no matter what. It's a haircut you never agreed to from a barber you've never met. They are getting rich, quietly, on your anxiety. The headlines scream at you, "Are you saving enough for retirement?" And you know the answer is no. So the panic starts, that cold feeling in your gut, the feeling that you're running out of time. They tell you you're behind. You need to be aggressive. You need to catch up. Buy this fund. Risk it. They want you to gamble. They want you to panic. They want you to look at your 40s as a deadline, as a failure. They want you to think you've lost. Stop. Just stop. Take a breath. Now listen to me. I'm not one of those kids on the internet promising you $1 million on some coin with a dog on it. I'm not a Wall Street suit who gets a bonus for losing your money. You'll never know my name. It doesn't matter. I'm the guy who's been working since he was 16. The guy who's held 2 jobs, not for a vacation but to make sure the transmission in the old car got fixed so I could get to the first job. I've paid the bills. I've stared at the check engine light, praying it would go away. I've paid the $700 for the water heater that always breaks on a holiday weekend. I'm the voice of Main Street, and I'm here to tell you that the panic they're selling you, it's a lie. It's how they get you to make stupid decisions. They want you scared. I want you smart. Let's start with the truth. I want you to go to the comments right now, no shame. I want you to write down the dumbest investment advice you ever got from someone who's never had to worry about a $500 medical bill. What was it? A hot stock tip? A can't-miss opportunity? A real estate seminar? Go on. Write it down. Admitting the nonsense is the first step to ignoring it. You see, they tell you your 40s are a liability. They say you lost the compounding from your 20s. Let them talk, I'll tell you the truth. At 20, you have time, but you have no sense. You're an idiot. You spend money to impress people you don't even like. You buy the car you can't afford. You think "I deserve it" means putting a $1,000 stereo on a credit card. You're invincible. You think $50,000 in student loans is just monopoly money. At 40, you're tired. And that, my friend, is your superpower. You're too tired to play their game. You're too tired to care if the neighbor got a new truck. You've seen what happens. You've seen the 2008 crash. You've seen the hot tips go to zero. You've paid the stupid tax. The advantage of being 40 is that you, I hope, are done being stupid. The advantage isn't a stock. The advantage is your scars. At 40, your best asset isn't your 401k, it's your scars. That's the first lesson. Those scars, the memory of that maxed out credit card, the pain of that late fee, the sleepless nights, that's your defense. That's what stops you from making the same mistake again. Wall Street is selling you a shovel to dig out. I'm telling you to stop digging the hole. This whole system, this American dream they sell you, it's designed to make you a servant to the bank, a servant to the credit card company. They get you early. They hook you with that first student loan. $50,000 in debt before you even have a job. And now you're 48. You're still paying it. You've paid the original loan back twice in interest, but the balance never seems to go down. And you've got kids, and they're looking at colleges. You're trapped. You're in a financial sandwich. You're paying for your past and you're terrified of your kids' future. That's the trap. And just when you think you're getting ahead, they flood your mailbox with 22% APR credit card offers. They tell you to build your credit by going into debt. Think about that. It's insane. And by the time you're 40, you're just a manager of payments. You're not building wealth. You're just moving debt around. You're working a job you hate to pay for things you don't need, to impress people who are just as broke as you are. That's the trap. So you sit there at 45 panicking about your 401k. You think the problem is your investments. You think you need a better return. That's what they want you to think. But you're looking in the wrong place. The problem isn't your investment portfolio. The problem is the hole in your pocket. The problem is the $500 a month you're bleeding without even knowing it. You think you're late to invest? The truth is, most of you haven't even started to save. In the next part, I'm not going to give you a stock tip. I'm going to give you a mirror. We're going to find the leaks that are sinking your ship. And you're not going to like what you see. Welcome back. If you're still here, it means you're ready for the truth. The reason you're panicked in your 40s isn't your 401k. It's not the market. It's that invisible disease, the one nobody talks about. They call it lifestyle creep. It's a fancy term. I call it keeping up. Keeping up with who? With people who are just as worried as you are. At 25, you were happy with a clean used car. At 45, you're looking at that new $60,000 truck. The one with the payment that costs more than your first mortgage. You got a raise, a good one. $500 more a month. Finally, right? You earned it. So what happened? Did your savings go up $500? No. Your car payment did. Your dinner budget did. You found new, more expensive ways to be stressed. You started buying the premium groceries. You started taking convenience ride shares. You didn't raise your standard of living. You just raised your cost of living. That $500 raise was gone before it even hit your account, because you'd already promised it to someone else for the next 72 months. Let's do some Main Street math. That new truck. You see the $600 a month payment. That's what you think it costs. You're wrong. The dealer doesn't tell you the real number. The insurance on a $60,000 truck isn't the same as on your 10-year-old sedan. That's another $150 a month, easy. And gas? It's a truck. You're filling that tank twice a week. That's $400 a month, if you're lucky. So let's add it up. $600 payment, plus $150 insurance, plus $400 gas. That's $150 every month. $150 times 12 months is $13,800 a year. $13,800. A 5-year loan on that, that's $69,000. For a $60,000 truck, you just paid the bank $9,000 to look good in your driveway. You worked a second job for that? To look good in the driveway? My neighbor, good kid, works hard. He just got that new truck. I saw him eating instant noodles for dinner last week. He's fooling everyone but himself. And his stomach, you think you're investing in your 401k, putting in 3% while you're bleeding 20% of your income on payments? You're trying to fill a bucket that's got a giant hole in the bottom. Your problem isn't the return on your money. It's the exit of your money. I got a buddy, Sal. He runs the local diner, been there 30 years. He sees it all. He told me, I see the same guys. Nice suits. Come in here every single day. $25 for lunch. Every day they complain about being broke, but they never ever pack a lunch. Let's do the math on that. $25 a day, 5 days a week. That's $125 a week. That's $500 a month. $500 a month on lunch. That's $6,000 a year. In 10 years, that's $60,000, and that's just one guy's lunch. What do you have to show for it? Nothing. And what about the leaks you can't see? The ones designed to be forgotten? Your subscriptions? It's just $15, you said. For the music, and $20 for the movies, and $18 for that news site, and $10 for that app. You've got 5 of them. Let's say $15 each. That's $75 a month. $75 times 12 is $900 a year. You are spending almost $1,000 a year to be distracted. That's not a cost, that's a leak. That's your entire emergency fund vanishing. You're in your 40s. You have, I hope, 20 good working years left. You can't get your 20s back. You can't get back the time you wasted. But you sure as hell can stop the bleeding right now. Wall Street wants your risk. Main Street wants your discipline. That's the advantage. Your scars. You know what that debt feels like. You know how that payment plan strangles you. So why are you still signing up for more? The advantage of your 40s is the ability to finally look at the boat, the new kitchen, the fancy vacation, and say, no, not later, not maybe, just no. You know why? Because you're tired. You're too tired to impress anyone, and you finally realize that peace of mind feels 1,000 times better than new car smell. This is the part where people get angry. They say, so I'm just supposed to sit in a dark room and eat beans. That's not living. That's the addiction talking. That's the voice in your head that's been trained by commercials since you were 5 years old. They've convinced you that spending money is the same as being happy. Let me ask you, were you happy when that credit card bill came in last month? Were you happy when you had to move money from savings again to cover the car insurance? That's not cheap. That's not being a cheapskate. That's being smart. That's being an adult. Being cheap is what they call you when you stop making them rich. You know what's really cheap? Making $80,000 a year and having a negative net worth. That's cheap. Driving a 10-year-old car and having $50,000 in the bank. That's not cheap. That's rich. It's time you learned the difference. It's time to choose the temporary rush of buying junk or the permanent peace of owning your life. You can't do both. The real advantage of being 40 isn't some magic investment. It's the power, the will to stop the waste. In the next part, I'll show you the most powerful investment on earth, one that Wall Street hates, and it's the only one I guarantee will make you sleep better at night. All right, you're here. You've admitted you're tired. You've seen the leaks. You see the $500 for lunch, the $900 for subscriptions, the $13,800 for the truck. You see the waste. And now you're thinking, okay, I stopped the leaks. Now where's the magic investment? What stock do I buy? Where do I put the money? This is the moment. This is the test, because I'm going to tell you the single greatest investment available to any American in their 40s. And you're going to be disappointed. You'll say, that's it? Good. Because boring is where the wealth is. Boring is what works. The greatest investment on earth is not a stock, it's not a bond, it's not real estate. It's that credit card bill sitting on your kitchen table. Let's do the math, the Main Street math. That card, the one you use for Christmas or the tires or just groceries. It has a $10,000 balance. You're paying 22% APR. That's the average, 22%. Your 401k guy, the one in the nice suit, is praying he can get you 8% a year, before fees, if the market doesn't crash. You are paying 22% guaranteed. Let's break it down so simple a child can see it. A $10,000 balance at 22% costs you $2,200 a year, just in interest. That's $183 every month that you are lighting on fire. You are working 1, maybe 2 full days every month just to pay the rent on your old bad decisions. You want an investment? Take every spare penny you have. Take that $500 you saved from not eating at Sal's Diner. Take the $900 you saved from cutting the subscriptions and attack that $10,000 debt. When you pay off that card, you have just given yourself a 22% guaranteed, tax-free return. Find me a stock that does that. Find me a Wall Street genius who can promise you that. You can't. They sell maybe. Your Visa bill is a certainty. The best investment isn't a stock tip, it's a paid-off bill. That's the advantage of your 40s. You're old enough to understand that. You've lived with that 22% snake in your pocket for long enough. You know how it feels. A 22-year-old doesn't get it. He thinks debt is just how it works. You know better. Your scars are screaming at you. I know what you're thinking. But that's not investing, that's just paying bills. I want to build wealth. Let me ask you something. If you had a new $700 car payment and $10,000 in credit card debt, where should your money go? The expert on TV says invest it. He wants you to try and make 8% while you guarantee a 22% loss. That's a fool's game. The Main Street answer? You don't buy the car. You take that $700 a month and you aim it at the $10,000 debt. In a little over a year, that debt is gone forever. Now you have no debt and you have $700 a month in your pocket. That is when you can think about investing. You don't build a house on a rotten foundation. I know a woman, Sarah from Ohio, 42. She had $30,000 in student loans still hanging around. She felt like a failure. She listened to this. She stopped all of it. The $10 lattes, the $100 dinners, the weekend trips. She lived like a broke college kid for 18 months. Her friends thought she was crazy. She took all that money and just hammered the loan. She paid it off 5 years early. You know what she has now? An extra $600 a month, every month, for the rest of her life. That's $7,200 a year. That's her money now, not the bank's. That's her new investment fund. I know a guy, Mike from Texas, 48. He had the truck, the $60,000 monster. He sold it. He took a loss, sure, but it stopped the bleeding. He bought a 10-year-old truck for $15,000 with cash. He freed up $700 a month. That's $8,400 a year. He's not investing it. He's stacking it. For the first time in his life, he has a 3-month emergency fund, then a 6-month. Now he's sleeping at night. This is the power of no, and it's hard. Your friends will gently make fun of you. Oh, bringing your lunch again? Why won't you come on vacation? It's just one trip. This is the other advantage of being 40. You're old enough, you're tired enough to not care what they think. You can look them in the eye and say, I'm good, because you know what this is. This isn't about one vacation. This is about your life. This is about who owns you. Right now, the bank owns you. The credit card company owns you. That car payment owns you. The power of no is how you buy yourself back. Imagine it. Just sit for 1 second and imagine it. Your paycheck comes in, and it just sits there. It stacks. It doesn't all vanish in 24 hours to pay bills. The phone rings, and you don't panic that it's a collector. You check the mail, and the past due notices aren't for you anymore. That's not cheap. That's not boring. That is freedom. In the next part, I'll give you the plan, the 90-day plan, not to get rich, but to get free. Your 40s aren't the end. They're the starting line. Now go look at that credit card bill. Look at the interest rate. That's not a bill. That's your enemy. So here you are. You know the truth. You know the disadvantage of your 40s is a lie. You know your scars are your advantage. You know the best investment in the world isn't a stock, it's a paid-off bill. What now? You're tired of being tired. You're tired of working that second job just to mail the money to a bank in another state. This isn't about charts or the economy or who is in office. This is about your house, your kitchen table, your life. This is where you choose. You can keep doing what you're doing. You can keep managing the payments. You can get that new car. You can keep up with the neighbor. And I'll tell you your future. You'll be 65, standing at the front of a big box store as a greeter. Not because you want to, but because your 401k is empty and your Social Security doesn't even cover the rent. Because you never ever stop the leaks. And you can choose the other path, the Main Street path, the boring path, the path where you're 65, driving a 15-year-old car. That's paid for. Living in a house. That's paid for. With no bills. With cash in the bank. And when the kid from Wall Street calls you with a hot tip, you laugh and you hang up because you don't need it. You're free. Panic is a choice. Discipline is a decision. If you're ready to make the decision, here is your plan. It's not a get-rich-quick plan. It's a stop-being-poor plan. It's the 90-day belt-tightening contract. Month 1, the audit of truth. I don't want you to change anything. I just want you to write it down, every single penny, that $5 coffee. That $2 bag of chips, the $12 subscription you forgot you had. Use a notebook, use an app, I don't care. Go online. Print the last 30 days of your bank and credit card statements. Get a highlighter. Look at the waste. It's going to make you sick. You're going to feel shame. You're going to see that $500 at Sal's Diner and another $300 on miscellaneous junk. Good. Feel it. That's the pain. That's the leverage. That's the why. Month 2. The blade. You're not trimming. You're cutting. You go through that list from month 1 and you become a surgeon. All restaurant food, gone. You pack your lunch. You make coffee at home. All subscriptions you don't need for survival, cut. That streaming service with the one show you watch, cut. The gym you haven't been to in 6 months, cut. Go to the park. Delete the food delivery apps. Delete the shopping apps. Unsubscribe from the deal emails. This isn't a diet. This is war. This is you fighting for your life. It will feel hard for about 2 weeks. You know what's harder? Working till you're 75. Month 3. The wall and the attack. Take all the money you saved in month 2, all those hundreds of dollars. It goes to one of 2 places and only 2 places. 1. You build your first $1,000 emergency fund. This is your new water heater money. This is crucial. This is the plug that stops the leak. This is what keeps you from using the credit card when the tire blows. You must have this wall. Put it in a savings account and you do not touch it unless you are on fire. 2. If you already have that $1,000, you attack. You take every spare dollar from the blade month and you make the first payment on your highest interest credit card. Not the minimum. You send them $500, $700, whatever it is, and you feel the power. You just made a 22% guaranteed return. You just took your life back. That's it. That's the start. This isn't punishment. This is power. This is you, at 40, at 50, finally looking at the banks and the car companies and the advertising machine and telling them no. You're firing them as your boss. You are taking your paycheck back. Every dollar you don't spend on junk is a dollar you keep. It's a minute of your life you don't have to sell to someone else. The advantage of your 40s is that you know this is the right thing to do. Your bones are tired of the anxiety. You're ready for peace, so let's make a deal. If you're done with the excuses, If you're ready to use your scars as your assets, I want your contract. Go to the comments and write, "My scars are my assets," that's it. No I'll try, no maybe, that's your signature. That's the contract with yourself. A promise that you are done being a servant to your junk. My shift's over. Now go take charge of yours.